There was a whole history there that really set you off when this string of suicides happened, because suicides and bullying have been going on in the gay community since the invention of the gay press. That's how long we've known about it, okay? And you know a lot more about bullying to a different group of people than I do. So I don't know the severity of that. I just know my experience and whom I represent. And the numbers are just staggering. So I was so excited when I first saw you on TMZ. I thought, my gosh, a white light appeared and this guy came down. And I've been waiting for someone to say something like that for a very long time. You know, while we'd all like to have a Mrs. Doubtfire in our lives running after us screaming, "Help is on the way, dear," okay? The reality is that we don't. And I just thought of all the kids who are going to be disappointed from this guy saying that help is on the way when he can't possibly take on the whole thing.
So this is what we've done, and we got a lot of emails from different schools nationwide, and they go, hey, first thing is they go, hey, come speak at my school. And I'm sitting there with kind of like my mentor kind of groups and, you know, my buddies and my management, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, at the end of the day, if I go into, let's say, 50 schools, it's going to help maybe, you know, 50 times 1,000, 50,000, 100,000 kids for that day. But after that, there's nothing going to be left there. So what we've done is we got a therapist on board, a family therapist, and we've been working with him, and we're finishing off a program this Saturday where it's a goal-oriented mentor / self-esteem building program. We're not naming it an anti-bullying program. We're not naming it a self-esteem program. The two things that get you out of the anti-bullying and self-esteem is to set goals, and setting goals on how you're going to treat people, on your family, how you're going to live your life.
So going
what
back
you're
door.
Do. Exactly. Because I don't want to point fingers. I don't want to go up to a bully and say, you're wrong.
You can't.
Because, okay, think about this.
They can't. They're in their process, too.
Yeah, and the kids are young. They don't know any different. You know, what's happening, what I've found is the bullies there's something going on with their life. Either they've had multiple deaths in their family, they've had, their parents aren't around, their parents treat them bad, something happens, and the school system is getting blamed for it. And at the end of the day, the school system only has them for 6 to 8 hours a day, unlike what they have the rest of the time at home, after school, whatever else.
Sure.
Where the school can't
police them between school and home.
Can't do anything.
Home can't do everything because you have to let a kid.
It's kind of like a personal trainer training you 3 times a week, or training somebody that's overweight 3 times a week, and saying, okay, here's your diet, here's your, you come work out 3 times a week, and then he stays the same amount of weight and he's not losing any fat based upon that he's eating the same exact way. And 3 little workouts don't do it. It really depends on our celebrities, our politicians. There was a politician.
What about some of these politicians who speak out?
Like Palladino.
Well, Palladino from New York.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk about him.
So, this guy, there was a beating of 3 gay guys in New York, and Palladino, I believe the next day or a couple days later, got on TV and said he was against gay marriage. Now, I'm not taking a stand on gay marriage or anything else, but what I do want to say is that if you do it right after somebody gets beat up, or somebody gets killed, or there's some accident, it affects our children today. Then he got a lot of criticism. He was saying a bunch of things about, it's wrong to be gay, whatever else. Hey.
Why not take a stand on gay marriage?
I don't want to take a stand on anything.
Because isn't it adding to the problem?
Well,
I mean, if someone like Palladino and the rest of the respective politicians.
So he needs to take a stand at some point, because he needs to decide what he's going to go for to get the vote.
He needs to separate the people.
Exactly. And that's the thing that I'm not running for anything. And the nice part is that I want everybody to look at me and say, you know what? Daniel Puder's best friends, some of them are gay. Some of them are straight. Some of them are girls. Some of them are guys. Some of them are short, tall. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. Some of them are special ed. It doesn't matter at the end of the day, because I want everybody to understand that we need to treat each other the same, And if Palladino just came out and he said, in the beginning of his race, you know what, this is one stance, I'm against gay marriage, no problem. Celebrities and politicians need to understand that they're being watched by our youth. And our youth, if let's say a 6-year-old kid comes in, or an 8-year-old kid that doesn't understand anything yet, and he's looking at TV and Palladino, says something right after, and the dad's like, yeah, whatever, and the dad is watching TV, and
That's
the little
what
kid
I'm
walks
getting
in,
at. Yeah.